Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix, the Garden City. Now, in the last Let's Play, we tried to tie up any loose ends, and now we can try it some more.
Salve, friend.
Okay.
Oh. Yulia. Oh no. Poor Virgil.
Yes.
Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
It's funny how it's like this guy's like, everything?
What? Are you... You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
I'm gonna follow him because it'll be interesting. I also tell him to get everybody to a certain place, but then he just stood there. I was interested in like how we get to the upper cistern, because I couldn't.
Fabia, listen.
There's a troublemaker coming into the city.
I know, and I'll take care of him.
Or just stand back in
Hide,
case something
but
happens.
not in the empty shrine.
Wait, how did you know I was headed in there?
No time to explain. Go.
With the 2 extra things, it should give him the votes to win.
You'll find what you're looking for in the avenue. Second building on your left. I've got to run.
It's interesting that he just walks up to the guy and is like, "Hey, I know exactly what you want. It's over here." Why? I would at least be somewhat suspicious of that.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
Lucretia, no time to explain. I'm supposed to give you this silphium resin for Yulia.
What? Quick, give it here. I'm just going to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing. How did you know?
I was just doing what the new guy told me.
I don't understand. How did... Never mind. Thank you so much for acting as quickly as you did.
That kind of spooked me.
No, we would have lost her.
Can't stay. Places to be.
Yeah, get right on it. Got places to be. So as this guy wasn't just standing here.
Salve, Ruffius. I hear your rheumatism has you so riled up you've been harassing Virgil.
What? My condition is nobody's business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment? Really? Thank God. Finally, some relief after all this time. Thank you, Galerius. You're a good man. And I'll be sure to leave Virgil alone. I know I haven't been at my best lately.
Appreciate that. Now, I've got to run.
I thought it was supposed to pass on the message. Oh. No, just be over here. Thought I could do this. There we go.
What now?
I have a message from Malleolus.
Yeah? Who's it from?
The Emperor. He knows Malleolus's real name is Quinctius, thanks to Claudia, and demands he withdraw from the election and release Ulpius and Iulia immediately.
Are you out of your mind, farm boy?
Domitius, that's enough.
What? You're not going to listen to this dolt, are you?
Galerius, all right, I'll withdraw, and Ulpius and Julia are free. I trust our business is concluded.
Yes, that's the ought to do it. I guess I'll go and tell Ulpius the good news then.
It's funny to see this guy be like, I guess I'm coming here to solve these problems. I think you're supposed to eat this bark, and was told you to stop harassing this guy. I gotta go tell a guy that the Emperor's gonna assassinate him because his name is different.
Good news, Ulpius.
Wait, why is he here?
Malleolus has agreed to release you and Yulia from your debts.
What? Are you messing with me?
I wouldn't do that. You're both free.
We're free. We're free. Thank you. It seems fortune smiles on us after all. I'd better go and pay a visit to Yulia immediately.
Is there any other place this guy needs to go?
Citizen.
Yulia!
Oh.
I'm so glad you didn't go through with it.
It wasn't for lack of trying.
Welcome.
Now Malleolus is going to... Wait. Why do you look so happy?
We're free. Malleolus just released us and we never have to set foot in that villa again.
What? How?
Galerius arranged it somehow.
Really? That's... incredible. Oh, what a relief. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. Just rest up, get your strength back. And we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you, Ulpius. I will.
Okay. Is that it? It's still a video game.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
So...
Those are my orders. Carry them out.
As you wish, sir. Priestess, Malleolus has decided to withdraw from the election.
Oh, well, that's surprising. But thank you for telling me. I'll let everyone know. Citizens, I have an announcement. Malleolus has withdrawn his candidacy from today's election. Unless any new challengers are nominated by nightfall, Sentius will be re-elected magistrate by default.
Actually, I'd like to nominate myself, if that's all right.
Of course, Galerius. That's your right. Citizens, the election will proceed.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
I'm busy.
We
already talked about that stuff. This.
Anyway, so... Oh.
This election here will be here before you know it.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations
Ooh, is the election happening right now, or...
Salve.
Salve. Not yet. Oh, wrong one. I figured out, I think, kind of what happened and how I was able to climb that. It probably wasn't a glitch. Probably a guy with a bow shot at me or something like that, but missed me, hit that, and, you know.
Are they? A new fate? It'll. Why do you? Or.
Oh, right.
That's just the way it's always. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself. But in this case, given I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the out. By using whatever gift.
Should have enough to win.
A golden bow.
The only question would be if that one guy's gonna come and get him to fight. Like, here's a question. How'd you get these statues in these places? Like, some of them, you know, they could do stuff, but like, again, solid gold statue. Not lightweight. Actually, let me see. A 6 foot tall statue. A 6 foot person weighs about 220 pounds. A gold statue weighs 19 times as much, or 4,000 pounds. 2 tons. So, yeah, they'd have to do feats of engineering to move this thing.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here.
So I'm, like, probably against. Against. 4.
Sentius
4.
Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Sentius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism.
I don't have enough fingers on that hand, but okay. Because it's broken.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
And want to see what he's gonna say. He's like,
We're finally alone. Nothing really. It won't be long before the golden rule is broken and everything will be reset. I dare say it won't affect me in the slightest.
Okay.
Thank you.
He doesn't seem... Fuck! Everybody just disappears. I talked to one person for like half a minute and then all of a sudden everybody's gone.
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. so be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georges I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should
seriously.
thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer? Oh, it is you.
I hate being sick.
Thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy.
Sure, you're let out.
You can have my shiny plaque if you want, and maybe you can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then he died. But before that, he told me if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious. He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. He said there's something very precious way up high. Please help me find it. Please. I had to keep it a secret until I found someone I could trust. Oh, thank you. Here's the key.
So do I follow you, or do I just kind of walk over there?
I hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high, Hannibal said. Oh, look over there. Something shining. Is it treasure? Maybe it is treasure. I can see it for myself. So pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just take it. Don't you dare.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
It really didn't take him long to break it. That does seem like another clip to do. Do all this stuff, but don't let Dooley out.
Salve, friend. Oh. Alright, let me...
You go do all that stuff. I'm gonna go and see what the thing is. And take gold that I guess just doesn't belong to anybody? I wonder how that one bit of gold was on that thing anyways. You know, all the way up high on the pillar. Perhaps go around the backside of this thing. This probably isn't the temple, it's probably the other thing. Again, it is kind of weird that there was like those creatures underneath. Okay, there we go. Really? Do I tell him all the things? We probably should save it, because that might be a different thing. You stay here. I'm gonna talk to your dad, who's like a total jerk. How do I do this? I really don't feel like that saves a lot of time.
His brightness was like the light.
So is it time paradox? Likely to break through unravel all 4 plaques on the obelisk. Oh, but if he's right over there, then he's not gonna fall down, ain't he?
That's some lamp.
You'd think you would call it a torch, because I think the people that made this game were British. I get back to it. Save here, then see if I can just give him a list of people if that does anything.
You've returned. Of course. Yes? Why do you say that? Despicable. But did it break the golden rule?
No.
Then it seems the gods are not concerned with her conduct, so she can't be the one you're looking for. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Now, was there anything else you... Why do you say that? Indeed. That is abhorrent. And even if doing so hasn't directly broken the golden rule, it's not difficult to imagine this behavior provoking someone to theft or violence. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed, I must ask, are you sure he's the one?
What would happen if I did say?
Ah, I see. It looks like you'll have to Why do you say... So I'm told. This is truly atrocious behavior, which undermines the very foundations of our democracy. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed... Why do you... Why in Pluto's name would you do that? The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule-breaker.
I don't know how you guys didn't die yet.
Months. If you don't help him, then he's not a threat. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation. Of course. Why do you say that?
Who's Galerius?
You managed to extract all that from him. Well done.
Galerius.
And I have noticed his contemptuous stares, but I had no idea he was so dangerous. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, but before we proceed...
Is he the guy that fought the guys in the fire and was dead?
Ah, it looks like...
It's a good way of refreshing my memory of everybody.
Yeah. Why do you say that? Well then, you'd better make sure she doesn't lose another patient, hadn't you?
Actually, that was a threat.
It looks like you'll have
but
to
that didn't work.
Your investigation. Now...
Wouldn't that count?
Yeah. Why do you say that? You seem to be grasping at straws here. I can assure you, she is most upset about her sister. As am I. It looks like you'll have to continue your... Why do you say that? Then you'd better find a way to make him back down, hadn't you? I'm quite sure you're capable of containing that half-wit. Go and do it. Good, thank you.
Oh, but we have more.
Of course. Yeah. Why do you... What? That's... I'm speechless. How do you know? Of course, this isn't your first loop, is it? Well then, you must stop him from winning the election. I expect you'll need some kind of leverage on him, but I can't be seen to be involved in this, of course, so you'll be on your own. You'd better not waste any time, and may Swada, goddess of persuasion, go with you. Good.
One more thing.
You've... Of course. Yeah. Why do you... Why? Because he prefers the company of men? Ridiculous. Romans have always been tolerant of such predilections. I simply cannot believe that his innate preferences would break the golden rule. If I were you, I'd be looking for whichever idiot is making those accusations. It looks like you'll have to continue your... Oh. Yeah. Why do you... You suspect? I confess, I don't have a lot of sympathy for Ulpius, but you're going to need a lot more than suspicion to get to the bottom of this. It looks like you'll have to continue your investigation.
Nope, that's it.
Thank you.
Oh, I guess there's still more. Yo.
Oh. Yeah. Why then? It looks like... Ask. Good. Sex before I... That... I've always... Our give the... I... If I... Of... Allow the crux of it to us. If you... The same... If...
Yeah. Thank... Hey. Yeah.
On your best behavior, I trust?
Should see if he's around here or whatever, and then... Nope. It's probably all long done that, so should see if he's at the farm. Yep, there he is.
Oh, now. Oh.
Right, Okay, that thing isn't appearing up, so... I guess we can get that one person to... do the thing. You in here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Here? No. Up here. Don't see her. Ah, here she is. Let's do a quick save.
That's quite an impressive bow you have there. Just like that. It must be complete. It'll be white. Well, citizens, it is time.
A golden bow. Just
Have we been giving him gold this entire... Okay, we got plenty of it.
shiny.
At least this reminds me that I haven't gotten this yet. Okay, we'll think about the election and then put the 4 obelisks on the thing and open the door to the temple. Stretch, that's big.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city.
Too bad you can't speed up time.
The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Plover. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Sentius.
Virgil.
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
The man who treated my rheumatism. Galerius.
These guys seem like I've heard their voice actors before, you know?
New magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helver. What? It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list.
Guess these guys are like, okay, the guy we didn't want to win didn't win.
Changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
About that. Can I tell Dooley not to?
Leave me be.
I'm grumpy.
Ave.
Ave. I like the thought and saying that because it sounds like it's from Adastra. It is the one thing, the first thing your wolf emperor tells you.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
Keep an eye on him.
I will. Thank you, Galerius. So happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Oh, thank. You can maybe my friend, but what was in there?
We
Was
we didn't do that.
Pearls.
Oh, right.
Shiny things. Do you
It wasn't the temple, it was the lady.
think you could share some with me? I'm confused. Hannibal said it was a precious secret. It's not a treasure. Oh. Alright. I trust you. Oh, look over there. Something shining. Is it treasure?
Don't just give him a whole bunch of gold so he doesn't commit crime.
So pretty. And it's just lying out here in the open. Maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just take it.
Is there a way to prevent that from happening?
Don't you dare.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, we'll tell the guy about the thing and then go to the temple. Because it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to prevent him from doing that thing. There's a question on... What about that one thing where you can be like, hey, I need you to get everybody to do stuff.
What? That's a big ask. But something tells me I doubt I'll be able to get...
Odd. Because it's like you can't tell him to, you know, save all these people and then do that. Though I guess I could do that. Maybe that's what I need to do.
What?
Okay, so... rheumatoid arthritis.
You, Sisyphus.
Probably should tell you.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Okay, now you're no longer insane. Not sure what we're gonna do about Dooley. Not sure if I can convince him not to do crime.
Thank.
Just need to make sure.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
You.
What you put out in... That's...
Maybe have a hot minute to talk about rheumatoid arthritis?
What?
A golden bow.
Okay, cool. She
Just
hasn't
like
moved yet.
Apollo and Diana's.
Give me a sec. In more than one way, I guess. Get better.
Was our priestess Equitia once? But if that's the case, I mean, all it really does. I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make they've never physically hurt. They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus. I doubt it. I mean, I suppose you. I thank. No.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Don't you just love
Yeah,
springtime?
let's get the guy in the blue robes before he goes missing. Sorry.
Nice.
That thing doesn't seem to be responding, so okay.
Salve.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate. Yes, yes. Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. And yes, no more shall you walk on eggshells. Yes. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. Yes. My first act. Yeah.
He's cunt, but there we go.
A day of celebration. I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era.
Could you shut up?
Yes.
You.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky?
Okay, whatever.
That light. Did you steal it from
that lamp?
Yeah, he's still there. And I could go up that way, I guess, if we do the whole arrow thing again, you know? I also kind of was thinking about going into the depths, but, like, I would have to fight a couple of guys again, and then see whether or not that actually changes anything. No.
What an extraordinary lad. Salve, Fred. Welcome. We've all... All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. Wolf P.S.
That... I'm... You... Well, you don't... If... Oh, really? But we're still in debt bond. Really?
You're free.
It's...
Here's your money. Get going.
I'll go...
Click save. Okay. Does it change depending on who you do? Let's try Nargle. Wrong. Oh, maybe I have to do all of them. Unless it was actually Pluto. Did I click Hades? Do we get to meet a hot Nubian jackal dude? Okay, this is Ram, so... no, Osiris is Ram. Okay, I was thinking about ancient aliens and stuff like that, but, were we in a simulation this entire time or something?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
Story.
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know? It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey. My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time,
so it is ancient aliens.
The sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive. No. Long ago I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal.
Okay.
Your gaze lingers too long.
I'm jealous.
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions. As you wish. It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago. That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago.
That doesn't seem too long.
To this day. You see, long ago, my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
How does death work anyways?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina. As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives and to prevent escape.
Oh,
I watched
metaphor.
wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten. To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place.
1,000's a lot.
As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's Ogle, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact,
Mickey Mouse
almost
tokens.
all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persephone along with it. It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer, and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth. Of course, that is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing. That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold, and when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana. I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, the silent golden sentinels. I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives.
I didn't actually read
And I
that.
say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it. When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. Consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies. I've always considered that the cornerstone
Yeah, good question.
of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
I wonder if you never commit a sin in this game, if you're able to do this one. Perhaps let's click this one.
Enough. You clearly know nothing. I'm able to commune with all of the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes. If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
We will not talk of it anymore.
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to give me an example? The merchant. How is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined? I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway.
How?
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation. Not if we're wise enough to know the mind of man. Supposing you're right, then my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
Oh, no, of course not. Never mind. Ooh.
Now
Let's try
tell
that.
me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked? I have seen no such thing, but in any case, taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it.
I just had to click on the
Therefore,
things.
it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sin? Ah, the tavern keeper, yes? How is that inconsistent with the rule? I disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely what she would expect from others. She would view it as a game, one she intends to win. Applying this rule always not.
What happens if we do? Hopefully you don't die.
Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire to survive. You will make a fine statue.
I just wanted to speculate.
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon? Pathetic. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Okay, we took the crown. Now what? Wait, I have to move all the way over there? Yeah, I really wasn't expecting the ancient aliens type of thing going on.
Enough.
No reason. Huh, this list seems shorter than I thought.
Applying this rule, you speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule? And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others. ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority. This is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty where you're from? I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
A long time. Unless you're rich.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Oh. Fair enough.
Now tell me, the midwife in the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule? The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine. Now tell me, what... abduction? You mean the magistrate imprisoning his daughter in the cistern, I take it. He did so because she sought to escape. A sin I take particularly seriously. Better that he stops her from escaping, albeit brutishly, than I have to wipe out this entire city to punish her. Wouldn't you agree? Supposing you're right, then my law's been broken, and I should turn you...
Never mind.
Now, do you honestly think you could do better?
Yes.
I should strike you down for that. Now, did you have any other question? Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see to the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
Is getting in your old age?
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
Persephone did.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpine has slumbered for 3,000 years. Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
I'm here to kill you. Never mind, I'll be going now. Never mind, I'll be going.
Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments...
You've been here for thousands of years.
...face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called Golden Rule?
Try that one?
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up. He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one. His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. I admit, I have grown disturbed watching them. True, I have witnessed him doing that. If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully, without theft or violence, without my law?
Yeah, let's go for the long one.
How so? And how is that working for you? So you say, and yet your world is still imperfect. Your words are breathtakingly naive. I reject your argument.
Can I try the other one?
How so? And pathetic. That is a very serious accusation, mortal. What sin have I committed? What evidence do you have to support it?
Killing people, I guess?
These people were all dead when my servant found them. I gave them a second chance at life. Would you prefer to have simply ceased to exist?
Fair point, I guess.
Accordingly, I reject your argument. Every one of those people was guilty of failing to ensure their peers lived virtuously. They failed collectively, and so they were punished collectively. The Romans understand this, as did the Greeks before them. How unfortunate that we are not where you are from. Ah, but I am a god, and you are a mortal. Why would you expect me to treat you as I treat my own kind? You are not a peer. You are not a respected equal. Let me ask you this. Do you treat insects as you wish to be treated?
Sometimes.
Do you care for their well-being as you would your fellow man? Do you ensure they have food and shelter and protection from predators? Do you give them rights?
Not all of them, but let's not lie.
Of course not. Because that would be absurd, just as it would be absurd for me to treat your kind as equals. My love for her does not mean I am not superior, now that she is mortal.
Yeah, let's try that one.
Where to begin? Our lifespans exceed yours by thousands of years, in which time we accumulate vast wisdom and a mastery of technology you cannot begin to imagine.
Fair enough.
Because that is the source of our power over you. You could say that.
I can't think of a good argument. Then I could say that.
My kin have no superiors. That is true. Go on. Make your point, mortal. Let me ponder that for a moment. If you're right, then it would follow that all this time I have been in the wrong. But no. The very thought of it grieves me. How can I accept your argument when doing so would make me a tyrant and a monster?
Try that.
Wait, what? What are you saying?
That one?
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Preservator's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
Be walking on eggshells so much. Let's try that one.
Perhaps. But if that was so, surely I would have sensed his deception. How could I have been so blind for so long?
Yes, you're a monster on a power trip. Try that one.
Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now.
I wonder if it's take the crown
I
and
cannot deny it any longer.
redo this
I've been
argument.
so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her.
So do you guys have
Who knew
genders and
this
stuff?
Empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside. This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest. Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
Farewell, mortal.
Oh.
Hey.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Why is your shirt so tattered?
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time. learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, preventing the suicide of a man in debt bondage, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience, and the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
It is kind of funny, the thought that he's just like, write this down, write this down, write this down. He's like, okay, he's saying, suffered long enough. Whoop, I'm gone. These Romans are crazy.
What? Oh, I see. For a moment there, I thought you were serious.
So, are we at the place
I think
again?
I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Because are we on the spaceship or what? Uh-huh. I guess that's the place where what's-her-name was trapped in? Daytime and everything.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
But like, why are your clothes just absolutely worn down? It's a nice day outside. Hey, you.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al? Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
There's no afterlife.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Sure.
You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience,
The ultimate Charon.
that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead. Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
Sure.
As you wish. You were murdered.
Heck.
You were exploring an old tomb when you discovered a cache of forgotten relics, including 2 silver coins of ancient origin. Unfortunately, As you emerged into daylight, you were set upon by two thieves. A nearby hiker saw the scuffle break out and leapt to your aid, trying to help you recover your bounty. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth.
Oh!
You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Karen's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here. It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here, nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here. It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here, nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course. I see no point in keeping you here, but I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story, and I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Yep. I didn't say this is where the game was going. Like, I had hints of it. Like, it was like, okay, so magic, well, of course it's magic. But then it's also stuff like, I don't know.
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld.
Ancient aliens and all that?
After everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet. And I found something strange.
Who's Galerius?
Sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
So there's like 4 endings, I believe? Wait. Oh!
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours.
Huh.
Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
That one girl's not gonna be happy that I left. Well, actually, she won't remember me.
Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course.
How would he
It's
do
hard
a
work,
farm?
But I sleep soundly every night.
Farming's hard.
I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
What was the onboarding process for these guys?
Of course. There's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you'd better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Oh, hello.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you. So, you're the hero
who is she?
Somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods.
She looks familiar, but I can't.
As I'm
Oh,
a
right, the priestess.
You realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us.
Even though you don't remember me.
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself. See you at the wedding, I hope.
How you doing?
Hello, I'm Dooley. Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
It's you.
I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
Don't worry, adults do it too. It's called adulting and it's hard.
Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. It's my favourite thing.
TV? Story boxes are great, aren't they?
Bye-bye.
I'm thinking they'd have to learn a new language, books, everything.
Hey. Hi there, I'm Horatius.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Scintilla with us as well.
I mean, it gets a third chance, really?
So, thank you. I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new.
You can't just throw spears at
The ones who
people.
pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
Oh, like you had a daughter at some point?
Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever. Thanks. He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most.
See the
He got
gladiator?
himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out, and his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
That's a weird saying, you know? Well.
Perhaps. And you.
Oh well. You.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
Sorry for leaving you trapped in there.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened. I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper system all that time.
But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again. Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Are you talking about that little robot?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
What?
I try not to think about him at all. You too. See you around.
I mean, what he did to, I think, her wasn't good, but, no, it's not her. But it's like...
You're here. It's so good to see you again. How are you? I wanted to come here and thank you again for saving my life.
But he was trying to keep people alive.
Getting me, and all of us, out of a terrible situation. Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a house share in London with my wonderful girlfriend. And I'm studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable.
Depends.
Sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about. I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day. Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld. After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude? I couldn't agree more. Ugh. Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck. Really? Huh. I feel better already. Thank you.
Who's Aloria? Oh, it must be the lady that was the bar person.
You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
Oh God.
I hope so.
You.
Long time no see.
You become a doctor?
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see. We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
yeah.
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world.
I guess.
Begrudgingly, one patient at a time. You too, don't be a stranger.
It'd be weird, all these people being like, hey, you.
Hello.
The guy that we never met. You are... oh, you.
Greetings. You must be the legendary oracle.
It is a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
I have kebabs.
I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that, I am most grateful. I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it.
It's weird that
once heartbreaking and
Karen's like, hey, don't tell Al, and all these people are like, hey, we're back from the underworld.
Once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won. You too, my friend.
You, the baker.
You're here. It's so good to see you. I wanted to say thanks for stopping me from going into that shrine. I still think about that all the time. And for getting us out of there. I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
I wonder if there's a way to save the assassin.
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be alive. Thank you. I really am. You too.
You. Who are you? Oh, that guy.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
Who?
I'm working as a consultant to the
That was a
Faculty of
lowercase, so I
Classics
don't think
at
it's a
Cambridge
guy.
University.
Oh, maybe it's like
helping fill the
philosophy
odd
doing.
gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again. My sincere thanks once again.
Diogenes' barrel? You.
You're here! It's so lovely to see you again. I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit
Oh, the
life
person up
first.
on the
But
temple?
Thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little
Lemon-nose
flat
again.
by the Tiber. I'm not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. Watching you persuade Ulpius not to take his own life inspired me. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Yeah, it was easy because I had,
Thank
you know, the means to all his woes. Or fixing them.
And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd like to join us. Wonderful. I'll see you soon.
So I think this game is a
Good
remake of
evening.
an older game.
We meet again. Thank you for your kind words and
And she's the
for
crazy old
liberating
lady.
us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
Hmm? Like Elysium?
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while, at least until I'm well enough to be independent again. She still talks wistfully of you.
Hello there.
Hello.
I remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. And you. Farewell, friend.
And
Soiree, innit?
oh,
hello at last.
the
You must be the
money
oracle
grubbing
I've heard
guy.
so much about. I'm Dacius.
Asshole.
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
It's weird that they get to keep all the stuff. It was entirely unintended.
Such acerbic wit. I love it. I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now.
NFTs.
In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the Oracle and Future Seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend? Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an answer.
DVD, sorry. Broadcast television is going to be the next big thing.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm going to make a bloody fortune. Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
I was hoping to see an Anubis, Daddy. You're the Egyptian guy? Yeah.
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle.
Yeah, thanks for trying to shoot
You
me.
know my name? Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous. For a time, I returned to Alexandria.
Oh, a speedrun of this game? That would be
No
interesting to
need of
watch.
another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun. Indeed.
No, you shot
Thank
me.
you, Oracle.
3 times.
Hello there.
You're the one that chained
Oh,
up.
I go by Gabriella now.
Hi.
I didn't want to be reminded
Hi.
of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him. Don't worry, nobody did.
I mean, was he like a horrible monster? Because he just seemed to not want everybody to die.
I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even
It
more
wasn't
wonderful
the
than
best
I
thing
dreamed
for
it
him
would
to
be.
do, but still.
I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine. Thanks. You too.
You.
Good to see you under better circumstances than last time. I wanted to thank you
Oh, the
for
guy
saving my life
that would jump off the thing.
and getting us all out of there. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake, I'll be forever in your debt. I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope? And missed out on all of this. So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way. Sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
You wouldn't.
You too.
You guys. Oh, you're a gay couple now?
Good to see you. I go by Rufus now. New start, new name.
Not Rufus, but Rufus.
Thanks, by the way, for showing me how to treat my rheumatism. I probably would have lost my mind if it wasn't for that willow bark. Although I think your people have a different name for it. Aspirin, I believe. Thank you.
Does aspirin?
Sorry, I'm
rheumatism?
no good with the mushy stuff. I live with Virgil in Rotterdam, not far from where he grew up. It's very modern. Destroyed in the war, and it rebuilt itself. Good place for a fresh start. Haven't decided what I'm going to do with my life yet. One adjustment at a time. Good to know. Anyway, it was good practice for the new world. Security cameras and smartphones everywhere. Got to stay vigilant.
Yeah, you ever do that thing where, like, you say something and then your phone advertises about it?
Look us up next time you're in the Netherlands. I
thought it was in Germany.
Grateful.
You.
We meet again, my friend. I wanted to thank you personally for getting us out of there, and for helping Rufus come to terms with himself. He may come off a little gruff, but once you get past that, he's a lovely fellow. I'm studying to be an architect again, and living with Rufus in our beautiful flat in Rotterdam, just down the river from Nijmegen, where I grew up. Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are.
Unless you live in Texas.
You too. As Rufus said in his own laconic way, if you're ever in the Netherlands, we'd love to show you around.
Is there
It's
this,
the least we
like,
could do.
was a lot longer than the other Let's Play? Because, like, some... On the ending Let's Plays, it tends to be longer, but I guess, you know, the regular Let's Plays was an hour longer.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention. Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected. I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way. Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
So is there an afterlife?
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues
Are they down there?
Scattered throughout the city? Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the
Huh.
underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas.
Oh, is that our
But
statue? It's good to know that they all seem to... Okay, cool. All seem to maintain their sanity. So I guess I got the true ending? I liked this game. It was an interesting thing. Like, I like playing video games. I enjoy or do RTSs way too much. But the thing that it kind of bugs me about video games or stuff like that these days is like, I'll play not play, but I'll see an advertisement for a video game. It would be like Tales of Arise or some kind of anime thing. It's like, oh, these people are pressing us and we're gonna fight them, and here's this cat lady, da 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 da, and they're going to destroy the world. And I'm like, I don't really care about it. I feel like I'd have to put a lot of time and effort to think about the story, to care about this story. You know, kind of problem with trying to do visual novels, besides me just doing them because they're interesting or whatever. But then it's like, when it comes to certain games like this, it's like, okay, here's this, with the word to be novel idea, here's an idea. You're in a game and, well, you're in an area, relive the time thing, and you do a little better each time. You personally gain knowledge, the main character gains knowledge, and all that stuff. Spooky sometimes. Was there any character that might have been missing? I wonder, would the assassin be there? Let's see. Let's see. The Forgotten City. Save. Can you save everyone? Huh. So ending one, you kill the guy, or the lady kills the guy, and you go back to the future where you and Al are stuck in that area forever. Huh. Oh, the guy that was in charge of the city caused our suicide? Oh. So I guess for every single one of these things, you just... Does it have the music again? Okay. Man, a 2-hour-long episode. Woof. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. And series. What do we have planned for the next one? We don't have anything planned for the next one because I guess we weren't planning on finishing it, you know, today. We started it 2 days ago. This entire game. Short but nice one. So anyways, oops, that's going to be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, guys, like, comment, what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos to help it grow. And please remember to spay new animals to help control the pet population. And until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix, some other game, since we finished this one. Oh, it's time to set my recording back to F9 instead of F10. So thanks and see you.